Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about what is new in this update because there's a lot of stuff to go over. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, the freebie. So as we see over here, get campaign item, receive item account, and we actually get a compensation over here of 50 star gems. This is mainly because they did nerf the Hydra. Now, we did test the Hydra, and when the enemy is down, so when you break the boss, and they're in that broken state, the Hydra still deals significant amount of damage. So if you are, on the fence on whether you should use Hydra or not, it really depends on how you use it. If you're just using it normally when the enemy is not in a down state, yes, you will deal significantly less damage. However, when you break the enemy or you elemental down them or physical down them or whatever, and then use the charge shot, it's okay. It is weaker, however, it's not as bad as we initially thought. However, in all the normal cases, like, if it's not in a down state, the Hydra is kind of mid. So you might want to use a different Mars weapon until you can break the enemy. And once they're in their down state, then you can use the Hydra big ass cannon and blast it away. Alright, so the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, the new limited time quest is now available, Drill Hellfire Enemy Suppression. Now, you can get quite a lot of goodies over here, such as a bunch of Exalia weapons, which probably don't matter that much, but you could also get Gladius Souls as well as Prograde Grinders, Evil Volt 2s, as well as Extase Fans 2s. So this is the new material that you need in order to upgrade your weapons from your Duosalia weapons into your Trisalia weapons, as well as your armors. So remember, you're going to need to farm 150 of those Evil Volt 2s, as well as 150 of the Extase Fans 2s in order to upgrade all of your weapons and armors. However, on top of that, there are also a metric butt ton of limited time tasks over here that require you to complete the limited time quest. As you can see, it goes all the way down to clear the limited time quest part 5. And every time you complete these, you do get a bunch of goodies. So for example, over here, you do get 500,000 Meseta, but the main thing that a lot of people are going to be aiming for are probably going to be all of the cosmetic goods over here. As you can see here, when you run the limited time quest 5 times, you do get a ponytail or a hairstyle, as well as 20 star gems, and you get a whole bunch of different outfits over here as you complete a total of 30 runs. Now, you do not have to binge all 30 runs in a single day. You can take your time here. The reason I say this is because you have a daily every single day where it is clear the limited time quest, so you're going to be doing the LTQ at least once a day anyway. The reason you want to do this again is because you do get an End Augment Transfer Pass voucher every time you complete this daily, so I highly recommend that you do that. Now, the limited time tasks don't end there. There's actually another one over here, clear the limited time urgent quest. It goes all the way to part 4, where you actually need to run it a total of 15 times, which will reward you with a bunch of outfits, and the shadowy Hakama is actually really badass. Personally, I really want this outfit, so I will be completing this, and I highly recommend everyone to run the urgent quest whenever it's available, because this is where you get your end weapon badge A's. You get 10 of these guaranteed every single run of the limited time urgent quest. However, keep in mind, it has to be the very specific urgent quest that is in Retem. So that is, of course, going to be Sign of the Planet Breaker D2. All right, it's literally going to pop up right here whenever the urgent quest is available, and you want to run that one. You do not want to run any other urgent quest, because in order to get those badges, you have to run this specific urgent quest over here. Again, it is called Sign of the Planet Breaker D2. Okay? And the reason why you want these end weapon badges is because when we come to the item exchange shop, go to the very bottom, there's a new exchange shop over here. You can see this is where you can exchange 50 of these end weapon badge A's into either a Lux Hell Finale or a Grand Gladius Soul. You want to aim for the Grand Gladius Souls, alright? So this is the only one you should be aiming for. I know Lux Hell Finale may be tempting, however, personally, this one provides a lot more value. The reason for this is because the Lux Hell Finale you can get from your weekly trade-ins with the Aegis Integras, just turning them into regular Hell Finales and then upgrading them into Lux Hell Finales as you accumulated resources through time. versus the Grand Gladiosol on the other hand requires you to farm a whole bunch of other crap, which takes a long time and actually requires you to have certain amount of gear. And personally, I think it's just easier to farm the urgent quest whenever it's available. You just need to do it 5 times and boom, you get a Grand Gladiosol. Now there is a purchase limit per account. As you can see over here, you can only purchase 5 of them. So when you've bought out all of the Grand Gladiosols, then you can purchase the Lux Finales if you want to. Now I don't know if this resets. Usually if it does reset, they would be a timer over here letting you know, oh, it resets in several days. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that. So I am a little bit concerned that it might be 5 per account and that's it. Like you just buy 5 of these Grand Gladiosols and you can't buy any more. I hope that's not the case, but it doesn't have a timer, so that is a little bit worrying. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the big upgrade. So yes, the Trisalio weapons are now available. I have already made my Trisalio katana, and I will be showing you guys in tomorrow's video how I was able to obtain so many of these Evil Volt 2s in a very short amount of time. You can actually get like 150 of this in like under 3 hours very, very easily. However, the other thing that I want to point out is, of course, the armors. So Sega actually did us a favor over here. So the Tristasis armors, the Vita as well as the Vio are now available. However, what's even better is you can actually exchange your old armors into these armors. So let's say, for example, that you made the Dostasis Vio armor or the PP one, and you're like, oh, maybe I don't really like the PP one, maybe I want to change it to the HP one. You can actually do that. As you can see on the third option, you exchange your Dostasis armor Vio into a Vita. So that's really, really nice. Now, as for the stats of these armors, they are very good. Unfortunately, they do not increase your potency. I know a lot of people were pretty excited and hoping that it would increase our potency further. That is not the case, but the HP and the PP stats are pretty good. The balance armor, as you can see, regular Tristasis armor, gives you 40 HP and 4 PP, which is pretty decent. The Tristasis Vita gives us a whopping 80 HP, which is actually really massive, and the Vio armor gives us a whopping 8 PP. So depending on what you want, you can exchange your armors to whatever the heck you want. Personally, I'm still going to be sticking with the HP ones because basically I'm going to be able to hit almost 2000 HP now, which is absolutely crazy. Now, another thing that I just want to remind everyone is you can still purchase items from the seasonal shop. The seasonal shop does not go away until the 13th. Remember, there is no maintenance on the 13th. It'll simply just, disappear. So make sure that you do buy out all the items. As you can see, we've literally bought out the entire shop except for the grinders because the grinders are unlimited and I still have 10 million seasonal points. So I can just continuously buy out all the grinders as much as I want. I could probably buy another 20 stacks or so. So that is pretty nice. Just make sure that you actually do spend all of your seasonal points, okay? And last but not least, I do want to remind everyone that the AC support item Select November 2024 is back. So if you did want to get any of your Addy capsules, now is a very good time, especially since the prices have crashed significantly. As you can see, you can now get an Addy Def Parfait for 8 million. This was up to about 15 million, I believe, on ship 2 was the highest price it went up to. So it did go down significantly in price. Now, of course, there are cheaper alternatives as well. If you don't need the all potency, there are cheaper ones down here. So if you just want Def Mel Raw over here, we're looking at 3.4 million. And then depending on, what damage type you need, you can just pick accordingly to your needs. Now, something to keep in mind is, of course, the scratch count bonuses over here. So as we can see right here, at 50 scratches, you do get a full-on end augment transfer pass, which is very, very valuable. However, it does require you to scratch 50 times. So yeah, just do what you have to do if you want it, because you actually get 240% in the pathway to get the 50 scratches, which is pretty nice. But money is money, and it requires you to spend a significant amount of money to scratch 50 times.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.